What is going on YouTube? This is Jim back with another quick video. Today I'm doing a review of the Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle, which launched today, September 18th, 2018. If you like what you see, please consider commenting, rating, and subscribing. Without further ado, let's talk about the Beat 'em Up bundle. This comes with 7 arcade games. Final Fight, which came out in 1989, Captain Commando, which came out in 1991, The King of Dragons, which also came out in 1991, Knights of the Round, which also came out in 1991, and The Warriors of Fate from 92. There are 2 other games that were never released here in America, only in Japan, Armored Warriors in 94 and Battle Circuit in 97. The reason I named the names and the dates is to give you kind of a piece of history in terms of when these games were out. Now, I grew up playing, except for Armor Warriors and Battle Circuit, I grew up playing a lot of Capcom arcade games. There's a local arcade by us called Starbucks, no relation to the famous coffee store. But Final Fight, Captain Commando were like staple games that I played. So when I saw this was announced, I was very excited for it. I picked it up for $20 on the Microsoft Store, and it's okay. I didn't really know what to expect outside of faithful ports of games that I've played and beaten I don't know how many times, but that's pretty much what I got. The reason I chose to pick it up on the Xbox is because I have over $200 in store credit, and I figured it was time to start spending it on something. Although I think these would probably make really good Switch games, and that's where it was first announced, at least that I saw on the Nintendo Direct. I think these would make good Switch games because they're not going to hold your attention very long, number one. And number two, the games weren't really that long back then, so you could probably beat it if you knew what you were doing. About an hour, maybe a little less if you were pretty quick. But I love the old school side-scrolling beat 'em up games, and they were always just, you know, a lot of nostalgia to me. What I don't like about the game, and I think where it falls apart a little bit in any of the games, and I'm not going to critique each game, they're all classics. Even the little bit I played of Armored Warriors and Battle Circuit, absolutely love it. If you've seen one of these games, you've seen them all. Side-scrolling, you have a jump, a punch, sometimes you get weapons. Very, very basic moveset. What I don't like is I feel like they could have done more with the Collector Edition, and this is a criticism I've had of all of these games for a very long time, these old arcade games that are ported over to the States or ported over at least to a console variant. They don't really give you a lot of free extras and gimmies. Now, I don't expect there to be DLC or anything. These games are, you know, very old, and I don't expect any of the coding to be edited. But like in this case, the only bonuses you get are you can play as either the US version or the Japanese version, which is nice because there is some difficulty spikes in the Japanese version, number one. And number two, some of the enemies and names are slightly different. So I do like that. You could see how the localization helped or hurt your favorite side-scrolling game. But outside of that, all you get is a couple borders to choose from and then a very small, minuscule art gallery. And the art gallery isn't really much. It's a couple concept art pictures, nothing really out of the ordinary. And I feel like it's a wasted opportunity. A lot of these games have proven themselves. Clearly, they're making yet another collector edition of these games. But these are real staple arcade games that are just a nostalgia, you know, just a nostalgic factor for a lot of us older gamers. And I feel like they could have done more with some of the behind the scenes, whatever they had. I'm not saying it's got to be full-length documentaries or major developer notes or anything, but it's always cool to see the history of these games and how they came to be. But unfortunately, that's really not what this collection is about. It's really just a no-frills port of 5 games plus a few new games to the collection. So if you like that kind of stuff, you're going to love it. If you think Final Fight is boring and you're not a big fan of King of Dragons, it's not going to be for you. If I had to rate this game on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 7. There are a couple places where I think they could have done a little bit better in porting over some of the sound, but again, I understand why they kept it the way that it was and classic to that arcade sound, but it does come off as a little tinny, and there are better ports of some of these games that I have seen, so I'm not sure if this was like the original arcade port that they brought over or what, but it could have been just a little bit better. Maybe a little more time could have gone into this, because this was completely off the radar. Nobody was expecting this or wanting this, really, per se, and it wasn't like there was a demand for it. So if Capcom had decided to keep it under wraps a little bit longer and add in maybe some nicer borders and clean up some of the feature set stuff, probably would have been a little better than it was. But it is what it is, and there you guys have it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what you see, again, please consider commenting, rating, subscribing. If not, that's okay too. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.